Okay, today I'm looking at this industrial property and I'm trying to see if I can retrofit it for today's demand. It's a concrete block construction with brick veneer. And the couple problems I see here is it's largely an old manufacturing place. So there's a lack of overhead doors. There's only one big one down here, and there's one on the side. So there's not a lot of access, and what this would appeal to today would not be for manufacturing. See, we have some rusted out gutters up there. If you have rusted out gutters, you might as well anticipate roof repairs. And you got a side door, but look at the access to this side door. It's hidden up here. So that means you got to come up and come in an angle and come up to the side door for the second overhead, which is basically, at this point, with the angle and the shortness of the side, this is not practical for most uses. So we don't have a terribly high ceiling in here. We got limited access for overhead doors. And if you go around to the back of the building, I'll show you, but the grade is like almost probably a foot high up the wall. So there's not a lot of, and the employee parking was in the front. Now, you could probably retrofit this, but it'd be expensive. I looked inside and I'll show you. Just cut out the wall and put some overhead doors here. You only could put a couple. 4 at the most, and with 4 you'd have to take out this ramp and shoot it down the other way. You couldn't have this ramp under this window. So you could put one for each of these windows. You could put an overhead door, but you'd have to do a major cutout for a 10 by 10 overhead door, remove this ramp, send it down the other way. So all this costs a lot of money. Let's go look at the back. Okay, here's this warehouse we're looking at. It's about 13,000 square feet. Here's the drawbacks: lack of overhead doors. A plus: large extra land. Possibly do something with that. Another minus: see the grade of the grass up the wall? That's about 18 inches up the interior space. So not practical to put more overhead doors. Okay, just to reiterate, so we got about a 13,000 square foot old manufacturing plant that lacks doors. It's got a large rear section, couple concrete slabs back here, just random. But let's go around to the front and take a quick look at the inside and see what the obstacles are with this property. If you're interested in selling, please give me a call. I just bought these 2 buildings behind me, and they're over 20,000 square feet retail center. I buy flex space, I buy warehouse space. I deal direct with sellers. There's no brokerage commission. You both make a better deal. I'm easy to work with, been doing this for decades, And if you're interested in selling or know somebody that's interested in selling, please let me know. I'm always looking to buy, and I deal in Georgia, East Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and a few other areas in Alabama and Kentucky. So if you're interested, just give me a text. Thank you. Bye-bye. So here we are now on the inside of the building. Here's the center portion of it. Like I said, those 4 windows, it would be expensive, but those would be the 4 you'd cut out and expand to see if you can get 4 overhead doors out the front. Because then you'd have 1 overhead door in between each one of these support posts, but you couldn't do it down there because you have these large electrical panels. So there's 4 that you could put in the front with these. Like I said, the back wall, the grade level is just above that, under those windows. So it comes up a couple blocks and then it inclines from the building. So you'd have to do too much grading and then you'd have to asphalt or concrete it. So that's not worthwhile. In here, this is that side door I said was basically worthless because you have to get up there at an angle and then you're only, perpendicular to it. This is the 1 overhead door that's actually functional. So this doesn't go right into the main part, but it goes into this area here that's probably about 3,000 square feet. This area here is about 8,000 square feet. And then up front you have a bunch of offices and restrooms. The offices, you have 4 that face the warehouse space, and then on the other side, you have 5 that face, this is the main center hallway. So you got the warehouse offices back here, restrooms, storage room, the main entrance area, and then you got 4 offices there, 1 real big one here. So this is an office. This is probably like a meeting conference room. These are more the offices over here, and that's the front door right to the right I just passed. So in order to make this, modern demands isn't going to require all these offices. So, and it's all concrete block construction in here. The best use probably for this location is to tear out all these walls and just have a larger warehouse area. And maybe just a couple offices, the restrooms. And that's another thing. When you start tearing out things, you want to keep the restrooms in place because that's going to cost too much to dig out the concrete. So your restrooms are congregated right here and right here. There's 2 of them there. And then your utility rooms here. So if you're going to tear something out, what you'd probably do is tear out this section on this side and just expand the warehouse space. That would get you, well, it's 40 by another 1,600 square feet. I don't know if that would be worth it. But it all depends on how you could rent it out. This probably end up being a multi-tenant building. And that's what you'd want. You wouldn't want to really do a single tenant in this marketplace at this time. It's going to be sitting on the market too long.